Do you know who sang that song? Could we say it a little louder? Elvis. My favorite, Elvis, yes. Actually, that song was written for him, for his comeback in 1968. He did a TV special, and it was close after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. And Elvis was really, traumatized and great grief for that. And if you saw that special, the way he sang the song, he pulled on that dream within to know, just as the song we sang about the mountaintop, that God's always at work. In the good times, bad times, tough times, great times, joy, sorrow, whatever it is, there's something beautiful at work. And that's what the story, The Wizard of Oz, really tells us. It too is about a dream, Dorothy's dream. She was feeling very lonely, unheard, sad. She just moved in with her aunt and uncle, and her parents had passed, and she didn't know what to do. And she decided to run away. Have you ever felt like that? You just wanted to run away because you didn't know how to handle it. You didn't know what to do. But today's message is discovering the wisdom to solve it, because the wisdom is always within us. It may not be the wisdom to know the whole picture, the whole answer, the whole dream, but it's always the wisdom to know the next step. How can I say that with I know that. I know everybody here has the wisdom and will know what they need to know, what they think they might not know, but they do know. It's like the scarecrow when he said to Dorothy, well, I really don't know anything, but I'll tell you what to do. That's us. We hide behind, we don't know enough, but we really do. Because we have great lineage. We have great heritage. We have a great inheritance. The God qualities. Now, it's not just Ernest Holmes who says God is all there is and we are one with God. No. In the Bible, in the Old Testament, in Psalms, King David, and the New Testament, the book of James, who is Jesus' brother, they said, I say to you, you are gods. You are children of the Most High. We have amazing wisdom in us. Love, courage, peace, creativity, abundance, beauty, and joy. It's all inside of us. And it wants to be revealed. It wants to be revealed through us and as us, because truly our reason for being here, all of us have the same reason. We are here to express God, those God qualities. The God qualities are always there. Our skill in using them is not. Because we always talk about there's half of us, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, half of us in heaven and half on this dense earth. We are here, spiritual beings having this human experience because this is a classroom, this is a way we learn and grow and become who we're meant to be. We have that. That's beautiful. But the apparent barrier is on this part. God's ever wanting to give to us everything, anything, all things, wisdom, clarity, joy, peace, understanding, whatever it is. But we have a barrier right here that comes as our thoughts and our beliefs. When we heard, change your thinking, change your life, we can do that. Because I think this journey of life is really a process, a continual process, like a classroom of re-educating ourselves continually about ourselves and the world around us and the people in it. We have to keep re-educating ourselves with greater wisdom, greater understanding for us to grow and evolve into the place we're meant to be. I've read quite a bit recently, or studied or shared quite a bit recently about Julian of Norwich, because she is just, to me, the mystics all just set me on fire, but I love her. And she said, we are all one in God's sight, because we're all one family. We're all God's children. We're all one in God's sight. And the evolution of our souls is the realization of that oneness. That's where we're going. When we say we're following the yellow brick road, which is a symbol for our spiritual journey, it means we're moving to that place. Not where we all become so meshed together we can't tell each other apart, because so much of our beauty is our individuality and our uniqueness, but it's when we come together and recognize, oh, yes, we are one family. Yes, we are in this together. How good it is that we can share that depth of ourselves. So Dorothy feels that way, that, she's just alone, so she runs away. But let me tell you something, her wisdom was in her, and it was so activated. She was looking for home and didn't realize she already had it, because all of the characters, the Scarecrow wants a brain, and he doesn't think he has it. And the Tin Man wants a heart, and he already has it. And the Cowardly Lion wants. They're all looking for something they don't think they have, but they already do. And so she's looking for something she already has, but it takes a tough time for her to realize that. If I was going to ask you the question of, think of one thing, one event that really, in your life, that made you who you are today. One thing that really made you who you are, why you believe what you believe, think what you do. I don't think it would be your last trip to Hawaii. It's probably something that was tough, something that was difficult, because the difficult things feel like they break us, but they can either break us or break us open to something more. And that's the wisdom that can come up at times when we just don't understand why something, it can be a loss, it can be a huge change in our life, why something like this happens, and we give up, we surrender. We do, we surrender to what we've known because it doesn't make any sense anymore. And we open ourselves to something more. And that's the wisdom I'm talking about. Now, we weren't just put on this earth just without any tools to recognize all these God qualities and all this wisdom and all this power we have. The ancient mystery schools, which talked a lot about the other realms, but talked about the three intelligences we have. We have the intellect, which is wonderful. It can analyze, and it can practice, and it can teach, and it can work, and it's great if we're dealing with logic and reason. But it can't take us much farther than that. And then we have the gut. When we get those gut feelings, either the deep emotion that hurts, it's just like, oh man, I have this gut feeling, this isn't right, this isn't good. It's like that's intuition, and it's also emotion. I'm going to say it's the emotion now. It's that immediate, in the moment emotion, that gut feeling. And then we have the heart. I know I teach almost every week that the heart is the connection between the spiritual world and the physical world. It is the place where God speaks. It is the place that we turn to when we really are looking for something more. We're going to find that in our heart. I want to read to you a quote by Ernest Holmes. As a person thinks in their heart, so they are. Reconstruction or re-education that I was talking about has to begin in your heart, your feeling nature. There needs to be a re-education of our emotional reactions. Do I need to say that like 25 more times? Because you'll find out when you're not really aligned in your body, mind, and spirit, you're going to react to life emotionally, not usually in the best way. But when we're centered and focused and know the truth right here, we have to react with that emotional, we can react with, tell me more, I understand, oh my gosh. We can understand with compassion, because I'm going to tell you what, wisdom leads to compassion. There's no other way. Wisdom leads to compassion. And even in the story of the Wizard of Oz, I watched it again yesterday. I had to study. But every time you see it, you learn something different, because a teaching story, Jesus taught in parables, because he knew his stories would meet people where they are. And every time they heard the story, they would hear something different. And that's the same with this beautiful story. It's a teaching story. It tells you about life. It tells you about growth. It tells you about community. It tells you about compassion. It tells you about fear. It tells you about all these things. And in each time I look at it, I see something different. And I so noticed Dorothy's compassion. When she first left home, she went to the Professor Marble, the charlatan professor, the mystic, and he saw a picture of her and her Aunt Em in her bag, and he said, "Oh, you're running away from home." And she said, "Yes, how brilliant of you. How did you know?" Well, she had a bag, and she had the picture in her there. Anyway, and he said, "Well, I see you're coming," and he told her the picture of her house, and there's a woman there whose heart is broken because you've left. Now, he didn't know any of this, but it tapped into her heart, and she went back home and got in the tornado, and everything happened, and she had the dream. But it was compassion that led her home. But that wasn't all. I also saw this whole story was about compassion she had as she followed the yellow brick road. You know, some of us get on our journey, and I'm sorry, no distractions. We're just going to get on that road and follow that journey because we're being guided that that's where we want to go. Yet she had the time, took the time, and opened her heart enough to see the people that were on the road, the people that were hurting and needed someone. She was able to look completely at each and every person and see, and I know what her heart said. It said, I could be that person too. That's what compassion is. I could be somebody who's left without a brain, without a heart, without the courage. And she listened and she helped, and they helped her because she had the compassion, her wisdom about life, her wisdom that she tapped into, let her know that our purpose in life is compassion. Our purpose in life is about this journey of re-educating ourselves on how we can be more connected, more present, because we need each other. So this wisdom that we talk about, these God qualities that are already within us, we need to learn how to access them and use them to help us on this thing called life. And this thing called life has all sorts of experiences in it for us to grow and become. It's about learning, having the wisdom not to label things are good or bad, but realize that we're here because we're meant to be. We're here because there's something for us to learn and share and grow into. But it's our compassion and our wisdom that's going to change the world. Now, one thing in this whole journey of awakening to our wisdom is about shifting our heart. Shifting our heart, as I said, to be from here on earth where you feel everything here and everything depends on how you feel, your reaction to things going on here. Shifting our heart means we plug in to the secret place of the Most High. And the secret place of the Most High is not a location. It's a state of mind. It's an inner awareness. And it's a deep connection to that something greater. It's the connection in us that gets that divine impartation of intuition and wisdom that we can tap into. Like I told you right now, that dream that I asked you to say, what is it you really want in your life right now that's going to open you up and fulfill a part of you? You don't know, we don't know the whole picture of how to get there or how it's going to happen, but we'll know the next step if we work on this beautiful path of understanding, having the courage, the heart, the faith, and the wisdom to follow that dream. I don't know what dream yours is, but we need to keep that dream alive. And the moments we choose to either be broken or broken open make us the people we are today. And so as we get into springtime, which it was so fun, we had our staff meeting this week and we were talking about, okay, what's good in your life? And we all said, oh my gosh, just going outside and looking at the flowers and the sky and everything is so beautiful right now. It was all about beauty and joy. And you could feel the whole room light up if we take time to really notice what is around us. So on that note, I'm going to ask our ministers and our practitioners to form a wall here, a wall of possibility, a wall of potentiality. And as they're coming up and forming the wall, it takes a lot of courage and practice to own the potentiality we have inside, because we have unlimited potential, unlimited wisdom inside of us. But it takes courage and it takes wisdom for us to own it and be it. I know that you've released your dream, your prayer, to this beautiful dome of love that we have created. I want to close with this definition of transformational presence. And as I said, we are re-educating ourselves about ourselves. It's about knowing our presence, how we show up in the world. No matter how powerful or subtle it is, it makes a difference. It has an impact on what happens in our world, in our life, in the life of people around us, that we make a difference. And so I want everyone to know in those prayers today that we make a difference. We know it, we feel it, and together we not only heal ourselves, we heal the world.